name is Jackson Foot, and this is my presentation on South Africa. So, the region South Africa is located in is located basically exactly on the southern tip of Africa, and that's how it's got its name, and it is 100,900 square miles. And so the history of South Africa goes very far back to its colonial roots, and everything from the early colonies caused by imperialism affects the history that it has today. And basically in the early colonization, an explorer named Diaz found South Africa but was unsuccessful in making land on it. And then in 1795, after it was discovered, the British fought for the Cape Horn and from the natives, and they took it over and successfully made it a colony. And the British kept warring for land and resources over natives like the Xhosa and the Zulu, which were two tribes that lived there initially. And in 1879, the British managed to conquer both the Xhosa and the Zulu and made it their own tribe. The Boer Wars are wars between the descendants of the original Dutch settlers and between the British, and the Boers like to use guerrilla warfare, which successfully caused huge casualties on Britain's troops, and they're forced to retreat, and the Boers took control of South Africa. And then there was a second Boer War where the Britain tried to reclaim the land that the Boers took, but the Boers once again inflicted heavy casualties on the British Army, and then in the Dutch rule and the apartheid, the British create the Union from 1909 to 1910. The British created the Union of South Africa, which was just South Africa today, and the Dutch were sent to rule it. And in, I believe, 1948, yes, the apartheid was started. And the apartheid is pretty much the same idea as Jim Crow laws. It separated blacks from whites and caused a lot of inner turmoil from the country, as the whites felt they were superior than blacks, which is just like the 1960s. And then and Nelson Mandela was a leader of the ANC, which was a group that was trying to fight for African American rights, and he was arrested for inciting a riot in 1963 for life with other leaders, and this caused a huge spark in South Africa, and many blacks tried to fight against the apartheid. And then after a lot of fighting, eventually in 1990, the apartheid was lifted. So this goes to my thesis as I believe that South Africa was damaged by the apartheid set on its country, but it is steadily repairing, as you will see later on. And this is my video on South Africa right now to prove that they are actually getting better as being a country. So this is the new president. Can you tilt that up a little bit? The new president of South Africa
Good evening, comrades.
The new president is stepping down, and basically the ANC, which now controls like the government stuff, they are putting the new president up in a completely democratic way. They have completely democratic elections. It's very well set, and there's no like rigging. It's a very good election system, and yeah, this is a video about how someone's stepping down.
As you all know, it has been a very long Sunday, and we are now here ready to give you the outcome of the voting process. Also, to take this opportunity at this stage to thank the Electoral Commission for its guidance, and the extended team encompassing the leagues and the provincial monitors who joined the Electoral Commission during its work. Without any waste of time, comrades, I know you're waiting with bated breath. The brief statistical information with regard to the voting is as follows. The adopted credentials by conference are 4,776, and in this instance, comrades, with this first round of voting, we had a total of 4,708 votes cast, giving us a 99% poll to the voting. Comrades, I'm going to give you the results in the order of how the names appeared on the ballot paper, and I would beg you to give me the opportunity to finish the stats position before you can start celebrating. I will start with the spoiled ballot for the position of Deputy President. We had 3 spoiled ballots and 4 abstentions. And the distribution of votes is as follows. Comrade Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma received 2261 votes. And Comrade Cyril
I'm just going to skip
Ramaphosa
ahead to the actual election of the new president because this is the deputy president. And here it is.
Cyril Ramaphosa to come to the stage, please.
Cyril Ramaphosa is the new president of South Africa, and this is very recent. Alright. So that's South Africa right now. They have a very good political system, and next I want to focus. Oh, it's on presenter view. 1 minute. Alright, there. Oh, no, sorry. It wasn't in presenter view. It took it out of it. So the single story of South Africa was basically I was trying to find news articles that said poor or bad things about South Africa, but I couldn't because mainly it was all about how South Africa is recovering from its apartheid in a very positive way, and I really couldn't find much that would suggest otherwise. And this shows how the Western world is starting to accept the change of South Africa, and we'll further into this in the economy. So the economy of South Africa is actually largely tourism. There are many hotels in South Africa. Many people want to visit there, and that is largely due to the part that it is believed that they have a very good government system and people will feel safe there, and it has great views. And then another huge part of their economy is mining, which they provide per se 19.1% of the world's gold. And South Africa is the only member of G20 in Africa, and G20 is basically a summit where bankers and world governors discuss financial plans for other countries. So it just proves that they have a very good economy. And then next we have the ANC, which is, the ANC has been repeatedly electing fair presidents with no bias towards presidents. It's just an election and it's what the people want. And that just more reconnects my thesis that the apartheid did damage the country, but they are on a steady repairing. Alright. And yeah, there's my conclusion, which is South Africa is still recovering from the effects set by the apartheid, but it is steadily on track to becoming a great nation, and it is completely legal. Equal. Thank you for listening.